You might be mistaken for thinking that scrolling through Rightmove and Zoopla is the best way to find property deals these days. You'd be wrong if that's the case. One of the best ways to increase your wealth is to buy assets. A lot of people do this in the form of stocks and shares, which is one method that I'm a huge fan of. You can also invest in precious metals, luxury items, and lots more, an interesting niche markets. But in the UK, one of the most popular methods, as you can see behind me, is investing in property. Today, in the UK, there are around 2.75 million landlords, and they're a crucial part of the economy. Landlords are responsible for providing homes to many people in the UK who might not have a deposit to purchase a house, or they might need short-term flexible living without the chains, without the mortgages that tie them down to a certain location or to a house. And with the tougher economy going forwards, higher interest rates, a lot of old school landlords are selling up. It might feel a little bit doom and gloom in the media, but with uncertain times can also provide great opportunity to find great deals out there. Whether you are an investor, landlord, or a couple looking to buy your very first home, the famous saying goes, when others are greedy, you should be fearful. When others are fearful, you should be greedy. Right now, people still need to sell houses. It's a tougher market, meaning houses are coming down in price, reductions are being made, and sellers' expectations are lowering as we really enter into the buyer's market for the foreseeable future. Thankfully, finding great properties to invest in has never been easier, with great online tools like landlord.io to help you analyze a project, work out whether it will be profitable, as well as sourcing great deals by taking all the property portal data from Rightmove and Zoopla. So there's a few ways to find great deals. One of the easiest ways is to head onto Rightmove or Zoopla and look through tons and tons of properties, with the ones that catch your eye making it into a spreadsheet analyzer to appraise and look at the deal in more detail to understand if it would make you a profit or not. The next level to this is using Chrome plugins that overlays additional property data as you scroll through websites like Rightmove to give you an enhanced, deeper look at the property information and to appraise deals at a glance a little bit quicker. Sourcing the right property deal is super important. As a homeowner and as a landlord or property investor or first-time buyer, you make your money when you buy. In 2020 and 2021, we saw a hugely hot property market. Lots of people getting caught up in bidding frenzies, which meant a lot of people were often bidding for properties way over the asking prices, making it hard for investors or first-time buyers to get really strong deals where they can renovate a house and make some kind of profit. Or even worse, they end up being the top bidder on a figure which just isn't simply going to work. It's fine if you're an owner-occupier and you're living in a house for a long period of time to regain the positive equity, but as an investor, being smarter about your numbers is critical for success. The amount of online auctions I've watched in the past where I've identified a few houses, I've actively made bids on them only to watch other people blindly bid up the value of the house to a point where it wouldn't be a financial success at all when you factor in the legal costs, the purchase and the renovation costs, and it's even more risky if you're trying to get off a bridging loan. So, sourcing is a great skill that's right at the start of the property process. In fact, there's a whole industry out there of people who are property sourcers just focusing on finding great deals, but then charging a premium for those deals, which often kills the profit. So using the right tech in your business is going to set you apart from those who still are learning the ropes or haven't matured their business skills to look at using systems, processes, and software to improve their business. I always keep an eye on Landlord, which is a software app that you can start using totally for free today, as they have a sourcing section that allows you to look at on-market properties, auctions, repossessions, and also sourcing alerts. So rather than scouring through Rightmove, you can simply get alerts when prices are decreased on a watch list, get an auction date reminder, and get new properties based on specific search criteria. Along with this, the results show you vital information like your return on investment within the first year, long-term potential returns, expected annual cash flow from rent, as well as gross and net profit figures. This could save you hours and hours of having to manually input information whilst trying to find great property deals. You can even enter your target postcode area that shows you facts about the area, including properties on sale, average days on the market, monthly sales, turnover, and average growth. You can also get data on the average council tax, crime, schools, and their ratings. This is all super important information. When I bought my most recent buy-to-let, it was next to a great school in a nice area, so when it came to rental demand, that's partly why it had over 75 inquiries due to the area, plus the house being a top spec design and new condition on the inside. Using Landlord is super easy. Just like searching through Rightmove or Zoopla, you can simply go through and look at on-market properties, but the big difference here is that you have the data live in front of you. So if I search for investment deals near Manchester, I can scroll through, I can have a look at different apartments, houses, and I can see instantly if I was going to buy it at the sale price, what the expected rental income could be, my return on capital deployed, and I can see the difference between a good deal and a not so good deal. Or if it's a worn down property and I can see in the photos that it needs a little bit of love, you can then look at the flip analysis as well and look at actually if you're going to be doing it up and it's going to be worth a premium, how much could your profit be worth, and therefore is there a healthy 20 to 30% return on capital deployed there. So a super easy way at a glance to see whether a deal is going to be worth investigating even further to validate all of those numbers. So sourcing properties is all good, but what happens next and how do you move onwards from sourcing great deals on paper or spreadsheets? Well, you actually need to book viewings, get out there and start making sensible offers on houses with the information that you've obtained and the figures that you're analysing. In the heyday, you'd probably be looking at 30% return on investment as a good project. Right now, with higher rates, that's more likely around 20% return on investment, which is seen as good. This is where financing really comes into play. Now, if you're just looking to purchase a vanilla buy-to-let, it's worth looking at the online brokers and tools to get your mortgage sorted. Brokers for investors can charge upwards of £600 to £700, which for a simple buy-to-let mortgage feels like a lot. I use Landlord a lot to check rates through their digital lending platform to get an idea of bridging loan rates and mortgage rates for longer term refinance products. This really helps me ensure that my deal analysis is also spot on with the right interest. With a lot of base rate rises, it's been hard to track what an average mortgage is on a buy-to-let product or what monthly bridging loan costs should be. So it's super handy to pop on, have a look at the rates, and if it's a simple enough house I'm working on, look at the actual rates to take a mortgage through to offer. Whether you're browsing or want to take a mortgage forward, you can go ahead with a fast, easy online application and track the mortgage as you go. Raising finance is one of the hardest parts of being an investor. If you have no money to invest, then quite simply, you can't invest. So raising funds through banks, lenders, or privately is going to be huge to keep your business going and working on the next project. And in our third section, we'll look at how you make your margins a little stronger. So a few years ago, a 30% return on investment was a gold standard to aim for, but with high interest rates, that is harder and harder to come by, especially as property prices remain high and aren't really expected to crash. They'll remain relatively flat with a long-term growth forecasted. One of the great ways to increase margins on a buy-to-let or investment property is to self-manage. I do this on one buy-to-let. I have a great family living there, and the house was renovated to a brand new standard with all new plumbing and partial new electrics as well, so I'm not expecting any huge maintenance issues for the next few years. Generally, it's just small cosmetic fixes and keeping on top of the boiler servicing, gas safety and electrical safety, and general annual costs like insurance renewals and remortgages. By self-managing this specific buy-to-let, I'm saving 10% every single month on what would be management costs, and usually your first full month goes to the agent as well, which is the equivalent of 10 months fees in a single month. So in your first year, you can expect to pay just over 2 months worth of rent to your agent. For me, on a house with a gross rental income of £820, that's over £1,600 to the agent, or otherwise, because I'm self-managing, helps go towards either maintenance of the house or profits. But by self-managing and saving that 10% every month, it makes the difference from an 8% return on investment to a 10% return on investment. Whilst the interest rates are higher, that's what hopefully is the new norm in the next few years as things cool off just a little. Landlord has a great set of tools to use in their manage section, which helps you keep track of your portfolio, property values, all the important figures, documents, and a tenant section to properly manage payment schedules, maintenance, and reports. You can invite your tenants to the Landlord portal directly so they can access their important documents, welcome pack, certificates, and more, meaning they can self-serve a lot of the important information. You can also customize and send a tenancy agreement and entering their information, payment information, rent review details and witness details, and they create a general agreement for you to send onwards to your tenant to sign via the portal. So using the best tech out there that's free like Landlord to get started is a great way to find great properties, source good deals, finance them and manage them, making life a lot easier from the traditional spreadsheets and manual methods of finding, financing and managing properties. I'm a huge fan of keeping my business efficient with software and automations, and it's my number one recommendation for you to think about when taking your property investing business to the next level. And the reason why I'm promoting it on the channel is because you can start on it completely for free. It costs you nothing. It's great to not only use software like Landlord, but also partner with them on videos like this to raise awareness and highlight the software and tech that is readily available that simply wasn't around even just a few years back. If you enjoyed this video, then check out this one here, which is my 1950s home renovation playlist, where I'm working on a huge grand design style build, as you can see here. This actually was my office very, very recently. It looks very, very different compared to old videos. So hopefully I'll see you soon in the brand new office.